Alright guys, what's going on? So we got another week of awesome game pickups. I got a chance to go garage selling a little bit on Saturday. We didn't really find a ton of stuff on the Friday stream. We were taking a look at some garage sales, but we didn't really find very much. So I just went to completely random garage sales, and we ended up getting some pretty decent stuff for the few garage sales that I did end up getting to. And there was also one pawn shop pickup too. So let's get into them. So the first pickup of the day was actually the very first garage sale that I found that I stopped at. I think it might have been the second. I can't remember exactly, but I think it was the very first one. And I walked up, and it was mostly kind of junkier stuff. But I saw that the people that were there were a little bit kind of younger, probably a little bit younger than myself as well. So I figured maybe there's some video games. So I was looking around a little bit, and I didn't really see anything. And then right where they were kind of sitting at the back of their garage. Right where they were sitting, there was two stacks of games, and they had PS1 games and they had PS2 games. And I was immediately drawn to the PS1 stuff because my PS1 collection, it's like a decent size, but I don't really find too much in the wild, or like when I go out searching. So I went and I immediately started looking through those games, and I ended up finding two that I wanted to pick up. I'll save the best one for second. The first one I wanted to pick up was this Land Before Time Big Water Adventure. I have no no kind of judgments or no expectations for how good this game is going to be. I just remember as a kid, Land Before Time, loved the series. One of my first movies I really fell in love with. Really got me super into dinosaurs and stuff. So it was really kind of a cool nostalgia piece just to add to the collection. So Land Before Time Big Water Adventure was the first pickup. And the second one, which this one's a little bit more valuable, a little more rare, Quake 2 on the PS1. Pretty awesome pickup. Super stoked on those two. And then I figured, okay, I got these PS1 games, let's take a look at the PS2 games. So they had a stack about this big, probably about 10, 15 games, something like that. And the two that I picked out of there, one which I already had, but this is going to be going up for resell, is Champions of Norath on the PS2. Pretty awesome RPG. As well as the other Champions game, which I didn't have yet. Super stoked to find this. Return to Arms. Again, also pretty valuable, rare game. So I picked up those four games, and then they also had a whole big bin full of some consoles. So they said they had 3 Xbox 360s in there. There was a PS2 and maybe a PS1. Anyways, I wasn't really interested in any of the consoles. The prices on them were pretty good, honestly. I think they wanted, like, for all the 360s, it was like $50 for all 360s, which now thinking back to it, maybe it would have been worth picking up, but who knows if they would have worked or not. I really don't know. So it was a risk I wasn't really willing to take. So I picked up those games, and then they also had a bag full of Wii wheels. Now, you wouldn't think much of these. It's these Wii wheels for Mario Kart. There are 4 Nintendo ones. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then there's also one kind of like aftermarket one, which isn't really a big deal. But these are really awesome to throw in for bundles when you find copies of Mario Kart, because Mario Kart's super common on the Wii. So it's really nice to throw those into bundle. And shockingly, these are worth like at least $10 each, which is pretty insane. I don't think I'm going to try selling them on their own, but I'm just going to bundle them with Mario Kart when I find them, because they really help sell Mario Kart. So those are pretty sweet as well. So on the games, what they were asking, PS1 games, they were asking $2 a pop. Amazing. PS2 games, they're asking $5 each, and then for the bag of Wii wheels, they're asking $5 for the bag as well. I asked what they want for everything, and they said $15. Beautiful deal. Super stoked on that. All right, so drove around, hit up a couple other garage sales, went and picked up my buddy's Storybook Gamer, and we ended up finding one more pretty nice garage sale. As I was walking up, the girl that was there was asked, "Oh, are you guys looking for anything specific?" I said, "Video games. I'm looking for video games." And she said, "Oh, I've got a box of video games over there." So I started looking through the box. It was mostly Xbox stuff, so it had original Xbox and Xbox 360 stuff. A couple decent titles in there. I kind of picked through a few. And then she said, "Oh, I've also got a Game Boy." And I said, "What? Yes, a Game Boy." That's super exciting for me. I love finding retro Game Boys and old handhelds and stuff like that. Super awesome. So I ended up finding a Game Boy Color. This little guy, Game Boy Color, which Unfortunately, isn't in the best condition. The back is broken on it, so the battery cover is broken. I ordered a new one off of eBay for $4, I think, to replace this one. So hopefully that'll come in a month or two. So it was a Game Boy Color, and it also had a copy of Pokemon Blue, which I didn't have yet. Pokemon Blue, again, not in the best condition. It's kind of faded and rough, but still really cool to find. Really, really cool to find. And I didn't have a Game Boy in this color yet. I had the blue one growing up. I have the blue system, so it's really cool to add this kind of reddish pink system as well to the collection. I tested it out. It works. The Game Boy works. The screen's pretty scratched up. It's not the best. And the speaker inside is also like really garbled and quiet. So I probably won't be like fixing this one up. I could try fixing it up, but it cost me a little bit. I'm probably just going to throw it on the shelf and just have it as a display piece. Honestly, if I'm going to play anything that works in this system, I'm probably going to play it in a GBA SP with the backlit screen, just because it looks so good. Anyways, really, really cool to find. We'll talk about pricing on this stuff in a sec. So that was the first thing that I was like, okay, I'm getting that. Absolutely getting that. She also threw in this little case for Pokemon, little blue case, and I grabbed 2 games out of the stack that they had there. First one was Elder Scrolls 3 Morrowind Game of the Year Edition on the original Xbox, as well as Red Dead Redemption Undead Nightmare on the 360. So those are the 2 that I grabbed. Mike also found in there was a copy of Portal 2, which he didn't have yet, so he grabbed Portal 2, as well as, I think, a copy of Princess Mononoke on DVD. So I asked how much she wanted for all this stuff, and the girl said $5. So I was in on that. And then I asked if they had any other video game stuff, and she said no, that's pretty much everything. There's a 360 controller and some stuff in there. So I figured I'm gonna go back and I'm gonna grab the 360 controller. If she's only asking $5 for this stuff, it's probably gonna be super cheap. So I got her to add in this Xbox 360 controller, which looked to be in pretty decent shape. Still got some batteries in there, which haven't corroded, which is beautiful. Oftentimes batteries will go bad inside controllers and really mess them up. But yeah, this one, it's not in great condition or anything like that, but I'll end up swapping out some of the parts and reselling this one for at least like $25, $30. 360 controllers are actually pretty good pickups right now if you can get them for super, super cheap and fix them up. So for all that stuff, she said $10, and I couldn't, I'm not going to argue with that. $10 for the Game Boy with these games and the controller is really beautiful. Really, really awesome pickup. So that was all we got for garage sales. It was 2 garage sale pickups. And then we also went to a few pawn shops. Mike was looking for a PS4 controller. We ended up finding one for $30, which was really a really good deal. And it was in pretty darn good shape as well. So we ended up picking that up. And at my favorite pawn shop, the seven games for $20 deal, I can't ever turn that down. So I went in and I started looking through games. And there was a few really good ones that I found that I didn't have. First one was Disgaea 4? I don't know how to say the name of this series. Disgaea? I'm not sure. Promise Unforgotten. It's a NIS America game. It looks like an RPG, kind of this Japanese style. And so that was the first one that I ended up grabbing a hold of. Second one was a game that I actually picked up last time we went sailing, which was Tomb Raider on the PS3, but this one is some type of, I don't know if it's called Collector's Edition or Limited Edition or anything. I couldn't actually find out what this bundle is called, but it's got the game as well as, it's like either an art book or a comic, I think. Yeah, it looks like a little like a graphic novel comic type deal with some art and stuff inside of it, which is pretty cool. If you guys know what this particular version of Tomb Raider is called, let me know. I'd be very curious. So I'll probably end up swapping out the game itself, the one that's in my collection right now, for this kind of upgraded version, which got some extra stuff in it. And then there was also one other kind of collector's edition, which was this Sniper Ghost Warrior 2, this bulletproof steelbook edition, which is pretty cool. Anytime that there's like collector's editions or anything like that in this like 7 for $20 deal, I'm almost always going to grab them just because they're usually worth quite a bit more than the standard copy. It's nice to have them. They're really cool. And then I started getting into some kind of like more filler games because those ones I wanted quite a bit. So I ended up picking up a few that I hadn't seen before. One was called The Gunstringer. Never heard of this. Apparently it's a Kinect game. I don't really have any Kinect games. I don't think I even have a Kinect for the 360 yet. So I'll have to get one of those at some point. Yeah, this game called The Gunstringer, which has like Fruit Ninja on here as well. So who knows what that'll be like. And then one that I've seen a lot. I've seen a ton of copies of this game, which is always, the covers intrigued me. It's called Rise of Nightmares. I'm a big horror game fan, so maybe this will be kind of a cool horror game. Who knows? Again, I need a Kinect to play it, so we'll see once we get a Kinect. And then two very much filler games. CSI Fatal Conspiracy on the PS3. As well as a game which is still sealed, technically. It's kind of like opening up a little bit. I'll end up taking this out of the plastic, but I knew that the game would be in mid condition. It's a game called Centipede Infestation on the Wii, which is, I guess, like a kind of a reboot of the old school Centipede from like Atari, but like a more modern version of it, which is pretty neat. So those were all the pickups from this week. So it was 7 for $20 for the last set of games. $10 for the Game Boy and everything, and then $15 for the PS1 games with the Wii stuff. So in total, we spent $45, which is pretty good. I'm pretty happy with that. Let's take a look at throwing everything up on the wall. Look at how much we spent this week. So again, $45 for everything, and take a look at the total value, which I think we did pretty darn good on total value this week. Thank you guys for tuning in, checking out the latest games pickups video. And hope you guys have an awesome week. I hope to be picking up some more games this coming Saturday. We're going to take a look on Friday on stream for some pickups on Kijiji, see if there's anything that we can pick out and pick up nice and early before everybody else gets there. Yeah, thank you guys for checking it out, and I hope to see you in the next video. Later, guys.